Good evening and welcome to News 10 on My Fox 10. It is National Severe Weather Preparedness Week. While the focus has been to prepare you before the storm hits, another thing to consider is this. What about the aftermath? Over half of Indiana residents are not prepared in case of a disaster. And unfortunately, that can mean the difference between life and death. News 10's Patsy Kelly has tips on how you can survive the storm after dangerous weather hits home. It's new for you tonight at 10.
We never know when the next disaster is going to happen.
This mild-looking weather often has the potential to become severe. And as we head into spring storm season, it's important to remember this weather can easily become a disaster for you and your family.
It's not if we have another disaster, honestly, it's when. You know, we know we're coming into springtime and we have the warm air and the cold air. We're going to have some storms, and some people don't think ahead of time about what could happen in a storm.
51% of Hoosiers think emergency response personnel could be at their home in a matter of 6 hours during a widespread disaster. That's according to a recent Indiana Department of Homeland Security survey. But the reality is, emergency responders could take up to 3 days to get to everyone affected.
If you imagine the amount of time that emergency responders spend with even one person in a single-family disaster, it's a lot of time. It could take days.
So you need to be prepared to sustain you and your family for at least 3 days.
Are the roads affected? Can they actually physically get to you? Or do you live in an area that is sometimes secluded by floods? Those are things to consider when putting together your emergency preparedness kit.
More than half of Indiana households in that same survey did not have extra food and water on hand, and even more didn't have any kind of extra supplies needed to survive.
People not having their emergency preparedness kit, it kind of scares me. It's not surprising that people don't have their own preparedness kit because it's not something we think about on a daily basis. We have so many priorities that need to be handled right now, and it's easy to put it off.
But not being prepared puts your family at risk.
Making sure that you can take care of yourself for at least 3 days after a disaster is one way to make sure that your family is safe.
In Vigo County, Patsy Kelly, News 10.
Officials say if you're unable to make or afford a preparedness kit, get one important item, a weather radio. That helps in knowing when to get your family to safety. Now, what items should be in your 3-day preparedness kit? Check out the story on our website.